Hi everybody, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast. Before I get started with the reading, I just want to take a second and thank all of my subscribers. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you for all of your likes, your shares, your comments, and just all of your support. If you are interested in receiving additional guidance aside from the weekly or monthly tarot forecast that I offer on my channel, please head over to either Facebook or Instagram and follow me there because I do actually draw and upload a daily oracle guidance card every single day. And if you are interested in receiving a private reading from me, please head over to northeasttarot.com. I do have it linked below in the description bar. And read about how I offer my private readings. I do still have available the 2017 yearly readings, so if you are interested in that, please head over there. I will be offering them for a limited time only. And also, please watch your sun, moon, and rising sign for these general tarot forecasts. These are just general forecasts, and I do recommend that you watch all three. If you do not know what your rising or moon sign are, I do have linked below in the description bar a website that can calculate that for you for free. So again, I just want to thank you guys for all of your support. I do wish you a wonderful week. Stay tuned for the reading. Hi Libra, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for the week of January 30th through February 5th. This is for Libra Sun, Libra Moon, and Libra Rising signs. All right, Libra, so at the bottom of the deck, I do have the Eight of Wands. Very nice. So the Eight of Wands can represent that very hasty, fast-paced energy. So there could be some Librans that maybe you're traveling, maybe you're moving forward. There could be a lot going on this week. There could be a lot happening. The Eight of Wands also speaks of communication. So for some Librans, you could be receiving some really positive news or communication. Communication could be very significant this week. There could be some Librans that maybe you're emailing a lot, maybe you're texting a lot. The overall energy is the Knight of Wands. So definitely for some Librans, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of that hasty energy that's around you. So there could be a lot going on. For some of you, because I have the moon here as well, there could be a lot going on behind the scenes. There could be a lot happening that maybe for some of you, you're not aware of. For others, you know, this definitely could be you traveling. For some Librans, maybe you're moving to a new home. We do have the King of Swords here. So the King of Swords definitely represents you, Libra, no matter if you're male or female. This is more of that very logical energy, definitely in the mind, planning things out, planning out the details. The King of Swords definitely puts a lot of thought into something before moving forward. With the overall energy being the Knight of Wands, though, you know, I also see you being incredibly creative, very passionate. What's really interesting is I have this King of Swords looking at the Eight of Swords here, and then I also have that moon here as well. So for some Librans, you've been dealing with maybe a lot of uncertainty when it comes to a particular matter. You could have been dealing with a lot of confusion. But with that being said, I feel like there's a lot going on here. But for some of you, with that moon energy, it is a little bit of a tricky energy. I feel like for some of you, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Or there's still a lot of confusion or uncertainty that you're dealing with, but with that being said, there's still maybe a lot of progress that's being made this week. The Eight of Swords is what I call that self-restrictive sort of energy. For some Librans, this can be you dealing with fears, anxieties, worries, a lot of mental anxiety when it comes to a particular matter. Nervous energy. For some Librans, too scared to move forward. For other Librans, I feel like this is a confusing energy that you've been dealing with when it comes to a particular matter. Now, because we have the Four of Pentacles here, this could have something to do with finances. This could have something to do with maybe a home. If not a home, maybe financial matters, your stability, your security in general. So maybe some Librans, you've been trying to move to a new home. For other Librans, you've been trying to bring in more stability into your life in some way. This can also be for some of you, you've been holding out, you've been waiting on something in particular. And dealing with some challenges for some of you, definitely dealing with some challenges or some confusion. But with the 10 of Swords here, 10s represent cycles that are completing, and you actually have a couple of 10s here. With the 10 of Swords in particular, this is a difficult cycle or a difficult period within your life that is coming to an end. So I see many of you actually moving away from some difficult energies or difficulties that you were dealing with, a difficult cycle within your life, because you have the Wheel of Fortune here. So for some of you, this is what you've been waiting on. You've been waiting to be able to do this. You've been dealing with some restrictive sort of energy, some confusion, a lot of uncertainty. But we have the Wheel of Fortune here, so this wheel is turning. And this is another 10 as well. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is a karmic, this is karma, this is destiny, and this is a very, very blessed, fortunate energy. So this wheel is turning. For some of you, I feel like it's just starting to turn, but just the fact that we have this energy present is very, very positive. So I see many of you leaving behind a difficult period within your life. This is some good fortune coming in, especially if you were a Libra that was dealing with some uncertainty or some doubts, some worries, some concerns, some confusion around this. This is the energy starting to shift for you and things are moving forward. I see many of you actually moving towards maybe receiving that closure. With the 6 of Cups here, this is for some of you receiving that closure when it comes to a past matter. The 6 of Cups can represent someone or something from the past that is relevant this week, and I feel like this wheel is turning. For some of you, this could be a divorce. This could be a situation involving family or involving your children. But this wheel is starting to turn here, and I feel like there's definitely communication that's coming through. Communication is going to be very significant this week, so some good news coming through for many of you, and it's something that you were wishing for with the 9 of Cups here. The 9 of Cups represents that emotional fulfillment, but also this is wish fulfillment as well. So for some Librans, I see you receiving a wish come true. For other Librans, I just see you actually moving towards this happiness. And I feel like healing as well. I feel like for many of you, you're moving away from this more difficult energy, and this is what you're moving towards. With the moon energy here, there could be some very psychic Librans. Also with the moon, listen to your intuition. For some of you, you know, I see you moving forward. I see you very passionate and ambitious, but you definitely need to listen to your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams. I definitely feel like many of you are very, very intuitive, and you might intuitively know that you're now moving on. You're moving away from a difficult time within your life. You might really feel as though things are shifting energy-wise this week. Let me just see what else I'm getting. There could be, for a very small number of you, there of course could be a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries person that's very significant this week. This could be a person that's communicating with you. This could be a person that you're communicating with, Libra. There also could be maybe a Pisces, maybe even a Cancer individual that's very significant this week. But I see many of you moving towards this happiness. I see many of you moving towards this wish fulfillment. Overall, I feel like it's a blessed week for you, Libra. Yes, I can see that you guys have dealt with some difficulties. For some of you, you've been holding out. You've been waiting for this maybe difficult time within your life to come to an end. But the energy is just starting to shift for you. Things will get better. So just hang in there. It's a good time to plan. It's a good time to definitely plan and be creative when it comes to your future. Yeah, because I see many of you moving towards new beginnings here. New beginnings. Maybe moving on to the next chapter of your life, Libra. Financially, I don't think it's going to be a bad week whatsoever. For some of you, it might be a little bit more of a conservative week. You definitely could be saving your money more than you're spending it. Emotionally, I don't see it being a bad week whatsoever. Just take caution with the 8 of Swords and the Moon. For a very small number of you, you might find yourself a little bit more emotional or you might find yourself really worrying unnecessarily. So, you know, if you're a Libra that relates to these energies in this way, just take caution with that. Try to stay focused on the positive, stay focused on the future. Know that, you know, you're moving forward for many of you. All right, additional guidance for Libra for this upcoming week. What else does Libra need to know? Please show me. Wow, this is beautiful. Crystal, have faith and hope because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't yet see. Beautiful. And this is exactly what you're moving towards, Libra. But especially for those Librans that find themselves worrying unnecessarily or losing faith, you need to remain positive. Have faith and hope because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't yet see. Okay? So Libra, I do hope that you found this reading helpful, and I wish you a wonderful week. Take care.